Mike Zoeller, who committed himself several years, and probably the longest standing member of the Planning Commission. And I think you've talked to Mike, and you've also talked to Harold as well. And I strongly suggest that if you don't want to consider Mike for that position, that Harold not be appointed because of his position in the real estate company. And again, Harold is someone that I have coffee with every morning. And it's hard to say, tell me when you don't want him. My buddies would tell you, well, you just don't want Harold. No, it's not that. We just see I see some potential conflicts down the road that maybe, and it will happen. You can just write it down, no matter what you do. When you're on the planning commission, you're going to have friends and neighbors, competitors that you're going to go against. It's the nature of the business, and a real estate agent is probably, in my opinion, a little more conflict than a developer. I had to say that for the record. Any discussion from the court? Vern? Tim? Gary?
Yeah, I got a bunch. Can I read this stuff here? You got plenty of time.
Plenty of time.
You know, you talk about conflicts of interest, right? I'm gonna name some names, not to offend anybody, but we got David Cook, that we just put on the design review board. He's in construction, and we've been on there for several years, and I guess he's done a good job. That he's a conflict of interest. Somebody talked about it several years ago. We just reappointed him. David Manley is a real estate and construction business. He's been on the design review board that this court approved. Ben Lofton's a banker, which, you know, they deal with people every day. He's on the design review board. We just reappointed him with the joint with the city of Barstow. Andy Hall is in the real estate business, and somewhat, I think he did some remodeling type business over the years. He's in the real estate business. The New Haven's appointment been there for years. Wayne Collins from Bloomfield, I think he's a Bloomfield or Fairfield, Bloomfield, I think. Real estate developer, construction, been there.
He doesn't have a broker's license.
I think he's got a real estate license. I know he's got a real estate license.
He may have a real estate license, but he's not a broker.
Construction and developer, and been doing it. He's been on there for years. Mark Mathis has been on the planning commission for 20+ years, I think. The construction business, blacktop business, blacktop probably every development that comes through, probably. I mean,
choice.
Mr. Height was on the planning commission for years. His family does surveying and construction, learned, did a tremendous job for years. You know, Jack Wimsett was on the board of adjustments since it's, I think when it started. And he was doing several businesses and bought and sold land, and we appointed him time and time again. So there's plenty of other ones that's got, you know, potential conflicts against these small communities. You know, you could say, but you know, you have to abstain. You got to, if it's something that's a direct conflict.
I see the DRB board.
There's all kinds of conflicts. If you want to really look at it.
DRB is completely.
Well, that's just
separate.
But there's a bunch more other than that.
Let's go back to the planning. DRB is you know, it's not nearly the complex nor the controversial issues that planning commission has to deal with. No comparison. That's apples and oranges in my mind.
I think there's tons of them that you could say potential.
Now, Andy Hall is a board appointment from the city of New Haven, so really don't have control over that.
I just think it's a mute subject as far as the conflict side of it. I just don't see it. I just cannot see it.
And you know what? And Harold probably will. I'd say Harold will do the right thing.
And I'm gonna tell you, and I'm not gonna criticize Mike.
You're really putting Harold in a position, and there's going to be an apparent conflict. Somebody's going to accuse him of it or not.
I've been accused of it myself many times, so you just got to deal with it, and you got to have broad shoulders and go on. Mike Zoeller, I commend him for the years he's been on there. You know, he worked hard against the hospital, even after the fifth report, though, petitions, seeking petitions, names, his wife's a doctor. I mean, that's just, to me, it's, you know, considered in conflicts, how can you not consider it conflict?
There's no money involved in it, see. There's no money. Conflict boils down to money.
Now, here's the next thing. Now, this is what stirs me more than anything. I've said this before. And it'll take me a little while to get through all this. In the past spring, this court, and you include, overruled the zoning regulations that the planning commission approved, and we turned them down. And then they turned around and passed subdivision regulations without our blessing.
That has nothing to do with what we're talking about today.
It's got a lot to do with it, Dean. He's the chairman of the commission, and he's the one that we asked to rescind it, and you voted with the motion to rescind subdivision regulations. They did not do.
You move on.
We asked them to keep the tech committee going so we can get through all these regulations that we're supposed to be revisiting that they did not do. I mean, 3 fiscal court
So
orders.
you're letting Tim dictate which person you appoint to the board. That's what it sounds like to me.
There's 3 fiscal court orders, Dean, that they went against. Okay? 15 years you and I have been on here. They went against another conditional use that we put in on the not conditional use, but a condition to the zoning. They turned it down and put it back in the plat state. 4 things they went against the fiscal court on back in the spring that this fiscal court, most cases, unanimously approved. In 15 years I've been on it, I've never seen them go against any of our wishes. Well, we might disagree on some zoning, but nothing on the technical side. Never in 15 years. And he's the chairman of the board. In my opinion, especially the tech committee, he should advise them, let's go on and reconvene it, and they sat there and didn't even listen to the wishes of the elected officials. So that's just my opinion. I just strongly.
Well, as a developer like you are, and a contractor that does work in the development business, then you see it differently. That I'm able, as a person that doesn't have any of those businesses, to look at a bigger picture. And the bigger picture is that there's been a good balance on the planning commission as far as development in this county. 95 plus 98% of the zonings that come through do get approved. And the contrary to popular belief is that there are people on there that do it for the right reasons, not for the monetary reasons. And I just disagree with it.
I think there's a lot of them do it for the right reasons, but I just think they got different beliefs in what the wishes of the public are. I mean, it's just when if you want more regulations and you want to impose more
If you
regulations.
want a puppet
The more control, I mean, that's what.
on the string all the time, then that's fine.
I don't know how much campaign you did out in the county with this last time, but I mean, you hear a lot of it. So.
You'll find that rural settings typically do not like planning and zoning. Many of the rural people, I went to Barron County and gave a talk to, I got tarred and feathered to a bunch of farmers that the judge down there was trying to do a planning commission, start a planning commission. I was sitting out in the audience, I thought I had this farmer, talking to him for a while, and by the time I got through, I was ready to get out of there as fast as I could get out of there. I thought they were tarred and feathered. But rural people typically don't like to be told what to do with their property.
I don't think as much as the planning zoning against as much too many regulations, it's too much regulation, and added regulation, and continued regulation.
In 15 years that you and I have been on this court, the amount of rules and regulations are minimum compared to probably the interpretation of what we currently have. Interpretation of what we currently have are a little more strongly enforced.
I don't disagree with that.
And that probably, in all likelihood, caused us more grief than the amount of rules that we passed. You follow what I'm saying?
I don't disagree with that comment, but I do think that they went against the 3